Hello, welcome to UFC 283 full card preview and predictions with Ranj and BC Dave. We're doing this, we usually do this on Friday night, but this Friday's the Lunar New Year. So I have to celebrate. My wife, the family, we do it every year. We celebrate the Lunar New Year. That's the Asian, Chinese, if you want to, New Year, but all the Asian countries celebrate it for the most. So Dave, you're a little bit under the weather, a little sick. I'm tired, but we're gonna struggle through this thing. Were you able to do a little bit of homework, studying up on
Oh yeah,
this?
got some homework done. Got some videos watched. Some old videos, but some videos nevertheless. It was good.
Yeah, me too. I did go through. I did more research than usual. I wasn't able to watch all the cappers I'd like, but we're gonna break these down one by one. How'd you do last week? You did pretty bad, you said. I went 7
Oh, I
and
did
4, I
horrible.
think.
Oh, I did horrible. I think I got
That's all right.
5.
All right. Now let's go. Okay, so let's jump right into this with the curtain jerker for the prelims. We got an undefeated guy. His name's Daniel Marcos. Where's he from? He's from Peru. Peru, taking on Simon. Is it Simon? I don't know. Simon Oliveira. Oliveira is the more veteran fighter here. He's 18 and 4, fighting out of the Astro Fight team in Brazil. So he would be the hometown guy, but he's got his hands full because this dude coming in undefeated, coming off let's fight a series where he had a decision win over Lewis. Don't know who he is, but before that he was in 300 Sparta. That's like a regional scene thing against nobody that's a Peru regional scene thing against nobody I really know. He trains at a place called Los Pinos Sornosis. And I don't really know about this guy except for have a 3-inch height and 3-inch advantage over Simon Oliveira. Simon Oliveira coming off a loss to Tony Gravely, which is not a bad loss. That was his UFC debut. Prior to that, he had a split decision against Jose Alday, not Aldo, Alday. And that was in the Contender Series. Before that, he's been in Pancrase, that's the Japanese scene, and a couple regional Brazilian scenes. The Astro Fight team, he also out there. He trains, I saw on Instagram, he trains with a guy named Luis Rafael Laurentino. He's like a PFL. He's a badass from out of the PFL. And a coach / former fighter named Badr Atif. This guy's good. And Josiane Nunez also trains out of Astro Fight team, just to name another pro coming out of there. I don't know what the odds are right now, but I wrote stuff down. Simon Oliveira was a minus 190. The undefeated Daniel Marcos plus 160. I don't know, Dave. I think I'm gonna stick with the veteran experience here. Daniel Marcos has yet to face any real competition at a UFC level. Where Simon Oliveira, even though he's still relatively new, he does have the background, I guess. Tony Gravely, unanimous decision, went the full rounds, and he went out in Japan and stuff. This other guy has never left Peru. I don't know. What do you got? What do you got to put on here?
So that's the thing, is that this Daniel Marcos guy, I watched his video versus Lewis. And I mean, he did have the size advantage, very accurate puncher. He's got a good ground game, like great leg kicks, but he's all stand up. But he's got a nice variety of combos and some decent footwork. I went back a little bit further back and watched this fight against Gaston Manzer, and once again, big size advantage where he was able to. Let me go back over here, where he was able to take advantage of his size advantage and beat up the more of a little guy. And let's be honest with you, this 300 Sparta league, it's your typical junior high gymnasium with some lawn chairs, with like 2 rows of lawn chairs around it. I mean, we're not talking some great fighting league here.
Nice big belt though. Scroll back up to his picture.
Yeah, all right.
Back up to his picture. 300 Sparta. They must love that movie, man. If they're gonna make a whole regional scene of 300 Spartans, for real.
I get it. So, but
I don't see this guy. He hasn't faced.
No, he's done what he's needed to do. He's faced some cans and he's crushed the cans like he has been, like he has supposed to be done. Now Oliveira, way more experience, just at another level. We're talking guys 31 years old. I believe he has 11 sub wins. Pretty much a lot on the guillotine choke, heavy on the guillotine choke. Versus Alday, I mean, he took a lot of hits. He took some spinning back fists. I mean, he's not the greatest on the greatest at everything, but I think he is head and shoulders above Daniel Marcos. Versus Gravely, he had no chance. He was sent like a lamb to the slaughters on that one. Gravely dominated the wrestling and the clinch cage and the cage control, and that's how he got his win. But I do see Oliveira winning this fight. I think within distance too. And I'm gonna pick it by guillotine choke. I don't mind propping this one out.
No,
second round guillotine choke.
Gerald,
yeah, I like it.
Gerald Lynch, welcome to the show. Gerald, you did pretty good last week, I think, at Tapology. I was following along right toward the end, and I think you were up there for a while. You're up there top. I don't know where you placed, but I know VCR Repairman did finish best in our little contest. But I think Gerald Lynch was up there for quite a while. Anyway, good morning to you, sir. From you're in the Philippines, right? If I remember correctly. Anyway, it's okay. I'm going to write this down. We're both on what are the odds, Dave? Is it worth throwing any money on Oliveira or no? Probably not.
Let's see what we got. Minus 170. And if you like to prop it out by TKO, DQ, or submission on Bet365, we're at plus 162. Right. So there's your plus money there.
Because you know what, there's a lot of chalk on this card, so I better this guy might make our 3-leg parlay for real. It's a lot of chalk here. So what'd you say? Minus 170 for Oliveira. Marcos comes back at a plus what?
Plus 140.
140. Okay, and we're both taking the side of Oliveira.
Yeah.
The Brazilian home team.
Exactly.
All right, moving up. Next, we have another bantamweight fight against Brazilian guy Luan Lucerda, 12-1, taking on again another veteran, Cody Stamann. Cody Stamann, he was ranked up in, I think he was like at one time in his past, I think he got up to like number 11 or 10 in the rankings, which is pretty good. Let's talk about the favorite first. I know he's at least 3-1 favorite at least. That's what he's training out of Extreme Couture with Coach Eric Nixick, and I saw Instagram where he's all sweaty with none other than Jake Shields. Jake Shields too old to fight now, but still very active in the fight scene and the grappling scene. He does still do grappling tournaments, Jake Shields. But Cody Stamann coming off quick, nice TKO of Eddie Wineland with the fancy mustache, 59 seconds in round 1. Before that, he did take a loss to Saeed Nurmagomedov, but you can't blame him for that. Most people would lose to him. Before that, he took a loss to Merab Davishvili. Once again, Davishvili, awesome fighter, and that was unanimous decision. At least he made it all the way with that one. Before that, though, Jimmy Rivera, that's probably one he'd like to get back. And prior to that, he does have a win over Brian Boom Kelleher. That happened to be the win where his brother died of cancer. Cody Stamann's brother died of cancer like a day or two before the fight, which is good. Props to him for even fighting. I'd have to cancel if I was in that situation. But that's pretty much Cody Stamann. He does have a wrestling Division II wrestling background. I think he was like, I don't know if he was All American, but he was a pretty successful collegiate wrestler in his day. But he's taking on this guy that Luan Lucerda. Now this guy 12-1. He trains out of Nova União, and you know who his main training partner is? Jose Aldo. Not Jose all day, not that dude. Jose Aldo, the Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
And he also trains with a guy named Juscelina Pantoja, who is a like, I want to say he's a champ in a lesser promotion. But anyway, he's surrounded by some good guys as well over down in home team Brazil. Coming off a LFA win over Marceli Alves. Don't know. I was looking through all. I don't recognize any of these names aside from LFA. He was in like Shuto, Brazil, and looks like he's kicking everybody's ass by submission. His last 5, all his wins are by submission. Bunch of rear naked chokes in there. He's got a heel hook and a guillotine in there in his last 5, as you can see on the board. Once again, I hate to do it, but I gotta go with the veteran experience here. I'm gonna take Cody Stamann. He is -330, no bet for me there, but he's my Tapology pick. He should win. What do you got to add to this?
Hell of a UFC premiere for this guy, showing up against Cody Stamann. I mean, this guy really, besides his Shuto Brazil experience, which is once again mostly can crushing, he's got two LFA fights. Now, granted, he finished them both within distance. Very impressive. He is, an excellent BJJ guy. A lot of videos that I saw with him were just in the BJJ ring, and like not actually fighting MMA, just doing BJJ grappling. But having said that, you're going up against Cody Stamann, who's got a shit ton of UFC experience. UFC is bringing in one of their vets in here. Cody Stamann is not one-dimensional. Yes, Cody Stamann did get choked out by Said Nurmagomedov, but I don't think Luan Lucerda is going to be able to choke him out. I think he's just too much, too talented, too much experience. I watched his interview with John McDonald on MMA Underground, and he knows his experience is going to take him through. He is fighting out of Extreme Couture, working hard. I
think you better stay off the ground, though. This dude, just Lucerda, like you look at his past fights, all submissions. Cody Stamann is a good, better wrestler, but I don't know about submission grappling. I don't know how that goes.
Yeah, but on the feet, he's going to annihilate him.
Oh yeah, definitely. Lucerda's a fucking novice when it comes to striking.
Yeah, so as long as he can not get taken down by this guy, I think he should be okay. And I don't think he wants to take this guy down either. I think he wants to just abuse him up against the cage, on the feet, stay everywhere but from the mat down.
What are the most recent odds on Bet365?
Lucerda's a +250, Cody Stamann -334. Bookies are looking at the fight to go the distance at a -200.
Huh.
Oh yeah, Cody Stamann by decision is where the bookies are looking.
Yeah, makes sense to me. All right, moving up the card. Oh, now we have Fight of the Handsome Women. Josiane Nunes taking on Zara Farn. This all right, I checked this out a little bit. Zara Farn is actually training with Davison Figueiredo. Davison Figueiredo, I think he made a mistake. He left Fight Ready. But once again, I think he went because he knows this fight it's in Brazil. But anyway, I was checking out her thing, and she's definitely training with Team Figueiredo, with Davison and his brother Francisco. and she's like the only girl in the gym in the pictures. She's the only girl, but she's towering over the dudes. She's got here over Josiane Nunes. She's got a half a foot height advantage and a half a foot reach advantage. 6 inches, both reach and height advantage. But the thing is, she sucks. She's not good. she's coming off a loss she's coming off a loss to Felicia Spencer, who Felicia Spencer not even that good, and she managed to get ground and pound round 1. Before that, she had a UFC debut where she got triangle choked in the first round by Megan Anderson. Megan Anderson's more of a ground and pound girl. And before that, she had regional scene fights in these promotions: Ladies Fight Night, Cage, Francis Fight Moves. I mean, no, I'm sorry, that's her gym in France, but now she's over in. And I was checking out her Instagram, and she's more of a like a face model. She does all this like weird paint, like a artsy type model, not like clothing model, but like a artsy weird type of model. She's got that kind of long face, kind of like remember Grace Jones? Was that her name?
Yeah.
Remember her? Kind of similar look, like that similar fringy, that type of look. But Josie Nunes is coming in. Her only loss was back in 2013 against Tyla Santos. Can't take anything from that. She's coming off a nice win against Ramona Pasquale, unanimous decision. Before that, she beat up Bay Malecki, overhand right, round 1. That was her UFC debut. And before that, she was in regional scenes such as Forza FC, Katana Fight, Curitiba, Cesario, all Brazilian scenes. This is like she is once again the hometown girl, Astro Fight team, but at that line there's no way I'm betting her, but she should handily win this thing. She's a minus 450, I think, as of recently. What can you add here to anything to this?
Zara Ferran is going to have the huge size advantage. But then again, Nunes is used to being the smaller person. She's a smaller person every single one of her fights, and she does pretty good for herself. And having said that, Zara Ferran has no ground game. Bad BJJ. She got mounted and owned by a Canadian. Just look at what's going to happen when she has a Brazilian in the ring. And for stats on Josie Nunes, I went, I don't know if you can see this. It says, oh, here it is. Go to stats, Viva Brasilia.
Viva Brasilia.
And we'll just go over the stats real quick, just for fun. Where am I here? There she is.
Oh,
there's my girl.
Yeah, they have the same amount of UFC fights. Yeah, 2 of them.
Yeah. Strikes landed per minute, 7.54 to 198. Strike absorbed per minute, 4.34 to 6.61. Very, very confident on Nunes in this one, on the smaller girl, but the Brazilian who's going to, take advantage of the French girl.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. But I'm not there. I'm staying right away from the betting side point. I don't not even a scratch off, no, nada, nothing. So what are the live odds here, or on the Bet365 odds? What are those?
Oh, Nunes is at minus 550.
Holy shit, we even went up.
So there's no point.
All right.
There's no point going there.
Right. What's the Farron plus what?
Plus 400.
Gross. All right. Well,
surprisingly enough, on this one as well, the bookies fight to go the distance. No, and I see it too. I see Nunes on ground and pound.
I don't know how Farron's even a fighter. I don't get it. It's probably because she's huge. That's all. She's super tall and lengthy. That's all she got going for her.
She's 5'8". She's not that big.
Well, she's got, I don't know. She got half a foot over Josie Nunes. So what is it? Josie Nunes is 5'2"? That's crazy. Yeah. All right. let's move up to this one now. Here, this one is a challenging fight to predict. We got Worley Alves, 14-5, taking on Nicholas Dalby, straight out of Denmark. Nicholas Dalby comes in at -1. Last I knew, -105. Alves -115, a slight favorite. Okay, Alves is coming off a loss to Jeremiah Wells. He got ground and pounded round two. Alves has been a back and forth fight. Look, win loss, win loss, win loss. If you want to go with the he's a pattern fighter. He's due for a win next. Look at that. It's like stripes. Red, green, red, green, red. You know what I mean? I'll go quick. He did manage to beat Munir Lazez by body kicks, ground and pound, round one. That we'll talk about Lazez a little bit later. He lost to Randy Brown, triangle choke, round two. He beat Sergio Moraes, uppercut, round three. And before that, he lost to the now infamous James Krause by knees and punches. Wonder if James put a bet on that one. But anyway, if you look way back though, what I love back in 2015, Worley Alves did guillotine choke Kobe Covington. That's one to put put that win on your mantle. That's one to talk about. Now Nicholas Dalby though, the Danish dynamite. Nicholas Dalby's I've seen him win two. Personally, I've seen him win 2 robbery decisions. But anyway, we'll discuss a little his last 5. We got he beat Claudio Silva, unanimous decision. Okay. He lost to Tim Dirty Bird Means, unanimous decision. All right. He beat Daniel Rodriguez. That's one of the robberies. Unanimous decision. He lost to Jesse Ronson, but it got turned to a no contest because Ronson was taking steroids. So you can't do that and expect to win. And prior to that, he beat Alex Cowboy Oliveira by unanimous decision. That was his UFC debut. He trains out of Rumble Sports and Arte Suave. These guys are the same height. Dalby will have a 2.5-inch reach advantage. I've been back and forth here because neither Alves, sometimes he's great, sometimes he's not. He's undependable. I'm going to lean Alves because he is the home team. And if it goes to judges, hopefully the judges are going to go for the home team guy. So that edges out Alves. And plus, he's due for a win according to his pattern. And I've never been really a fan of Nicholas Dalby. What do you think? What do you got to add?
I'm going on the same thing with this one. Slight advantage to Alves with the home field advantage. The last few fights I've watched with Dalby have left a bad taste in my mouth about him. Stats virtually the same. Alves with a little bit more advantage in the takedown defense. So I think he's going to be able to keep it on the feet, where he might have hopefully the advantage. We shall see. 3.07 to 3.22, pretty much a wash. Accuracy 48% versus 39%, so slight advantage for Alves on the accuracy. Strike absorbed 3.63 versus 3.22. So once again, pretty much a wash both ways. Defense 51 and 53. So I see this going on the feet. Not the most exciting fight, I don't believe, but I do believe Alves is going to come away with the victory because he might have more volume and
another edge. Alves has another edge is Nicholas Dalby, 38 years old. Alves 32. Alves, you could say in his prime. Nicholas Dalby, out of his prime, has since gone down a little bit. His prime was probably 3 years ago.
Yeah,
I would assume right around there, 2-3 years ago probably. So I checked out Nicholas Dalby's Instagram, and he's doing some weird, like military training, like running in camouflage with a backpack with they call it something in Denmark. It's like Rostov or something weird. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then you look at the people he's doing it with, and there's girls. It's like him, another dude, and like 3 girls. And like, oh, and he's saying stuff like, oh, when I was 20 years old, I wasn't as good a shape as these girls. I'm like, all right, dude, come on. I don't like it. So Warley Alves is my pick for sure. What are the odds there? What you got?
Minus 125 for Alves, plus 100 for Dalby. Bookies fight looking to go the distance is a no at minus 150. And I mean, looking at Alves's records, he's a finisher. Whether he wins or loses, he's finishing. He very rarely goes the whole way. So yeah, I see Alves definitely.
Like Dirty Reg says, he's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. But I'm kind of more fading Dalby. That's that's my play there.
Same here. I'm picking the hometown guy.
All right. Moving up the card. Here we go. Another tough one to pick because we have T-Rex. Terrence McKinney taking on one of the Bonfim brothers. We got Ishmael, and we're going to talk later about Gabriel Bonfim. These two brothers are touted very good prospects. Both of them have boxing backgrounds. Both of them have been supposedly like right knocking on the door to enter the UFC for quite a few years now. So they're legit, these two brothers. So let's I'm gonna get a little bit deeper here. Okay, Terrence McKinney, last I checked, was a slight favorite. He was around minus 120. Bonfim Ishmael was plus 100 for Maheta. And this is his UFC debut for Bonfim. He came out of the Contender Series with a unanimous decision win over some guy I never heard of, Nariman Abdasov or some crap. But aside from that, he was in LFA, Jungle Fights, Shuto Brazil. Now, this is an interesting thing I've heard about Ismael Bonfim. Back his last loss was in 2014 against Hanada Moicano. And that loss to Hanada Moicano, rear naked choke round 1, and that was for a Jungle Fights championship. But that was the win that Moicano got signed to the UFC after winning that fight against Ismael Bonfim. Ishmael is the older of the two brothers, but I heard he's the lesser of the two in fighting because the other brother's undefeated. Ishmael's 18-3. However, he has got his hands full in his UFC debut against T-Rex, Terrence McKinney. Terrence McKinney is coming off a win against Eric Gonzalez, rear naked choke, round 1. He lost to Drew Dober, but what a hell of a fight that was. I had picked Terrence McKinney to win that, and for a minute I was happy as shit because he actually knocked Drew Dober down, like knocked him, and he even like stunned him a little bit. But Drew Dober, dude's jaw is steel, and he came back, ended up knocking out or TKO over Terrence McKinney later in that same first round. Before that, he beat Faraz Ziam, rear naked choke. He beat Matt the Steamroller Frivola in 7 seconds of round 1. That's got to be like up there in the top fastest wins. And that was his UFC debut also. What a debut performance for him. And prior to that, he was in the LFA where he beat Michael Irizarry Ortiz. He trains out of Spokane, Washington, out of the Warrior Camp. The only other name you would recognize out of that is our favorite cock, Said Yokub, Cock Ramanov. And he has Instagram videos where he's training with his coach, Pablo Alfonso. So Terrence McKinney will have the 2-inch height and 2-inch reach advantage here. And here's another time where I have to go with the veteran UFC experience and take the UFC guy that has, more fights in the UFC. I'm going to go with T-Rex, especially at minus 120. I really like that. But odds could have changed a little bit since I did my research. What do you think? What do you think about this Bonfim guy and T-Rex?
Looked at some Bonfim footage versus Fabio Lima on the Jungle Fights and versus Desa. I mean, he's got good takedown defense. He got decent footwork. But once again, just like the Stamen fight, he's going up against a UFC vet. Like this is this is a hell of a way to be introduced to the UFC. I think minus 125, Terrence McKinney is doing great. Now, I'm hoping Terrence McKinney doesn't just take this as a vacation, like I'm going to Brazil to go hit on chicks and hang out on the beach. Like I'm hoping he actually takes
No,
as
I
a
hope not too.
I'm hoping he takes it as a serious fight as opposed to just a fun little adventure. But I also don't see this going the distance as well. Definitely not going to make it the whole 3 rounds. But I'm going to stick with Terrence McKinney on this one.
What are
Cross my fingers that he's going to be there seriously and actually show up to fight.
right? What are the odds on Bet365?
Minus 125 for Terrence McKinney and plus 100 for Ismail.
Ismail Bonfim. Didn't somebody took Terrence McKinney, didn't they, in our little contest, unranked contest?
Yeah, I made fun of him too.
Yeah, somebody said, "Oh, let him take him. He's trash." But I don't.
And
I was defending him. I like Terrence McKinney. I do. I like that how he knocked out Matt Frevola in 7 seconds.
Yeah,
Come on, how you in his UFC debut? How you gonna not take him?
I know. I'm just a hater.
All right. The next fight, we can skip right past it if you want. It's a blowout. It's Jailton Almeida taking Shamil Abdurakhimov. I mean, we could try to play a little bit of devil's advocate for Abdurakhimov, but come on, the guy's 41. He's a huge underdog. I think last time I checked, Jailton Almeida was plus or minus 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. And plus, just look at the dudes. Almeida looks like a physical specimen. Abdurakhimov looks like he's like a bowling professional. Like I see him at the Perry Lanes down hanging out the bar throwing strikes. But the surprise enough though, I'm gonna give some credentials for Abdurakhimov. He's not gonna win, but I'll back just a little. Let me tell you a little bit. He's got he's a master of sport in kickboxing and combat sambo. He is a champion of wushu shandal, which is a type of like a Chinese blended kickboxing type fighting. His style is heavy grappling. Like if he grapples and he takes you down, he's going to use all his 260 whatever pounds to blanket cover you. But Jailton Almeida, this dude's a beast. He's the rookie of the year. He was like first pick for somebody in our unranked draft. Yeah, everybody wanted him. He's on a big run. He hasn't lost. His last loss was to this guy Bruno Assis back in 2018 in Chudo, Brazil by decision. He trains out of what's called the Leonidas Gandam system, which is some obscure gym in Brazil. But he's got this same coach for the past 8 years. His name is Minotaurino. You know what a Minotaur is? It's the guy with the bull head, right? Am I right? I am. Let's see. Let's go. His last fight, he had a rear naked choke against Anton Turkaj. Before that, he beat our buddy Parker Porter, rear naked choke, round 1. Likes the rear naked chokes. He outclassed Danilo Marquez with a ground and pound round 1. That was his UFC debut. Fantastic. In the Contender Series, he beat another combat sport master, like combat sambo champion guy in Nasruddin Nasruddinov. Also rear naked choked him. And before that, he was in Thunder Fights. That's a Brazilian regional scene where he beat some Oliveira guy by rear naked choke, round 1. Jailton Almeida is a phenom, and he's going to go in here and take down Abdurakhimov and rear naked choke him. I'm not going to, no money is going near that. I mean, that's just retarded, minus 1,000. Don't even put that in a parlay. It'll make your parlay drop. You'll be paying monies for the win. Abdurakhimov, I know he's coming off 3 back-to-back losses. Sergey Pavlovich, Chris Dawkins, of all people, managed to take him out in round 2 with the right cross to ground strikes. Curtis Blades, ground and pound round 2, but Curtis Blades, phenomenal wrestler. Before that, though, if you go back, he has a wins against. He was at one time. He was decent. Marcin Tybura, Andrei Arlovsky. Those are legit, and that's like 2019, 2018. So, but now he's just 10 years older. Looks kind of out of shape. I know he's still Russian, and on his Instagram, he's still buddies with like that whole Muslim Russian scene with like Islam Makhachev, Magomed Ankalaev, Teixeira Ulanbekov. They're all those Russian Muslims. They're like my brother. They're all family. They're all that Islam. But this guy, I just think he's a little bit too old, a little bit too heavy, and a little bit too out of shape. He's gonna be winded round 2 if he makes it that far. I think Almeida's gonna probably take care of him round 1 by rear naked choke. That would be my guess. You got anything to add to this?
Fight not going the distance. Be interesting to see what Shamil weighs in at. Having said that, I don't care. Brazilian's going to win all the way. So within distance, probably first round, maybe second.
Abdul Rakimov. I think that's what Dirty Reg is referring to. And did I sneeze? Let's see. Make that free $100, Ranj. Put it 1,000 on Jalta. Yeah, right. No thanks. No thanks. That's what it would be too. Billy Q versus Edson Barboza announced just now. That's a good fight, man. That is a super good fight. I don't know. Anyway, so let's move past the Jalton Almeida nightmare. That's not even bettable. Nothing. Maybe prop it if you want. What's Almeida? Can you round prop bet 365?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's it for round 1?
Minus 163.
Ridiculous. Okay. Imagine if Shamil Abdul Rakimov managed. This is like the 3rd time they've tried to have this fight too, by the way.
Oh, I know. Shamil is just a feeling though. They just grabbed him to try to put him in wherever there's holes.
For some reason, he's still like he's ranked 33 worldwide heavyweight. I don't know how, but whatever. I wish somebody took him on the unranked contest. All right, let's move up the card to the welterweight fight with Ishmael's brother, Gabriel Bonfim. This is the undefeated one. He's younger, yet he's taller, and from what I've heard, I can't say firsthand, he is also better than his brother Ishmael. He's obviously weighs more too. Ishmael's at lightweight 155. This is welterweight. So Gabriel Bonfim, boxing background, Serrato MMA with his brother, coming off the Contender Series where he beat this guy Trey Waters by Von Flue choke, round 1. Before that, he was LFA, beat Eduardo Garvan, Darce choke, round 1. Another LFA before that, and everything aside from that, he beat this guy by punches in the LFA. Everything else, all wins by submission, which is kind of peculiar because these guys, the Bonfim brothers, are boxers. They started out boxing. They both have, I guess, they have. I don't know what the records are, but they have like records as professional boxers. But this guy Gabriel Bonfim submitting everybody, submitting all his opponents. But now he's got, once again, a little bit of a UFC knowledge, not veteran, but a little bit more, definitely more experience in Munir Lazzez. Munir Lazzez, coming off a win against Angelusa, made that debutante's first fight go horribly, beat him by unanimous decision. He lost to Warley Alves. Warley Alves was just body kicking the shit out of Munir Lazzez. Yeah, that was his go-to, and Munir was just taking the damage to the body. Before that, he had his UFC debut though, and it's looking good because it was against Abdul Razak Al Hassan, who took my money last week. Yeah, I bet against him. Unreal. But aside from that, he used to train out of Team Noguera, Dubai. He used to be a Dubai fighter. Now I guess it's someplace called Cobra Fitness. I'm really not sure where that is. His regional fights were all over there: United Areas, Emirates, Dubai, all those regional scenes over there. He did beat Sasha Plotnikov back in the regional days, and he's got 2 losses. One of them for Warley Alves. The only other loss, see that guy Eldarov?
Yeah.
If you click that guy, he's only got 1 loss in his entire career. That's to Khabib. Look at him, a beast. Brave FC. He's not 1 loss to Khabib. This guy, he should get a contract to the UFC. You know, why not? But Munir Lazzez, he lost by unanimous decision to him. So that's a good loss to have, I guess. So man, this is tough. We got the undefeated prospect that's really hyped up, home team. Munir Lazzez is not home team. He's from like Tunisia. But Munir Lazzez, like I said, 2 losses, one to Warley Alves, the other one to Eldarov. Man, I'm still somewhat on the fence. And plus Munir Lazzez, plus money, which is real tempting. And he's got a 2.5-inch reach advantage. But this one sticks out though. Gabriel, 25. Munir Lazzez, 35. 10-year age difference, going the better way for Gabriel Bonfim. What are you going to do here, Dave? Oh.
Going with the younger, faster fighter, with the Brazilian hometown guy. Yeah. Hometown guy. I'm not going to bet for his. Yeah. I'm not going to bet for his brother, so I'm going to bet for him.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of agree. That's what I picked on Tapology, or well, that's what I planned on picking. We're going to have to, some spots we're going to have to find a underdog. That's why I'm going to put an asterisk. Munir Lazzez might be an underdog to go with, because just like Dirty Red, good catch on the Elder guy. Yeah, that Eldarov only loss ever was to Khabib, who has never lost. So you want to play MMA math, Lazzez should be the better guy. But
he lost to him.
What's that?
He lost to him.
Yeah, but still, by unanimous decision. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't like he got finished or anything. How did Warley Alves beat him? By ground and pound, round 1. That's a bad look. So you gotta,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm also taking Bonfim. That I already did, like on one of these. Bet Online has a contest right now, and they just like pick side, like just pick and go right through. And I picked Bonfim on that. So what are the odds right now?
Minus 175 for Bonfim, plus 150 for Munir Lazzez.
All right, we're both taking Bonfim. I am taking him, but kind of reluctantly. I would not be surprised if Munir Lazzez spoils this kid's debut. Moving up, we got Thiago Moises taking on another Brazilian in Melquizael Costa. Melk.
Yeah.
And this guy, he's got like that impetigo or whatever that thing, the skin condition, which is
vitiligo.
Yeah. What is it called?
Vitiligo.
Vitiligo. I don't know. I'm just glad I don't have it. But hold on. Oh, sorry. We jumped ahead too far. I'm horrible with the chat. Munir seems to start slow and pick it up as fight goes. Be careful. Agreed, Dirty Reg. That's why I'm still somewhat on the fence. I wish I could see the face-offs, but we're doing this early because I have Lunar New Year's this Friday, guys. Lunar New Year if you're into celebrating Asian holidays. Lunar means moon. I don't know. Don't ask me. Anyway, Thinking about taking the -2.5 here. Lots of unders on this card for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of finishes as well. But all right, now back to this. Thiago Moises trains at American Top Team, coming off a win over Christos Giagos. And hey, MPTV, yes, he did. Worley was destroying him with body kicks. He had like 3 good body kicks. I think he broke a rib or something. And anyway, Thiago Moises, before he beat Christos Giagos, he did lose to Joel Alvarez. That's the dude from Spain. Pretty good fighter. Can't take nothing from that. Islam Makhachev beat him rear naked choke. Once again, Islam Makhachev, cream of the crop. Before that, he beat Alexander Hernandez. That was when it was Alexander the Great. Now it's Alexander the Ape or something, right? Something stupid. And before that, though, he has a nice win, unanimous decision over Bobby Green, which that sticks out as a good win. That's one you can be proud of. He's taking on this newcomer, debutant, Melchizedek Costa, that has the Vitiligo. I don't think that's not the right word. I think it's like impetigo or something weird. Something. Oh, you're gonna Google it? What's that skin condition where it's a I don't know, dispersed melanin, but it's kind of intimidating. Like his face in the if you look at pictures of him, like I watched. He doesn't have an Instagram page, but there's a fan. He's got like a fan page, and there's pictures. So there's no training videos or anything with him, but there are pictures of him fighting, and he looks kind of gnarly in the fights that he's been in. His last fight was in the LFA. He took out this guy in TKO round 3 against Junior Mello. Before that, he beat this guy in Pressas Combat. Never heard of the guy, but he took him out round 1 TKO. His last loss was against an LFA guy named Italo Gomes. And he's also been in Predador, Future FC, Thunder Fights. I mean, he's a regional scene can crusher for the most part. And not can crushing because he's got some losses sprinkled out throughout there too. And that is why I don't know what the odds are for this fight. I didn't see them at all. He does train out of Shootbox João Emilio, so I guess that's good. But this is a Brazil versus Brazil on Brazil violence. However, Thiago Moises lives stateside now, training out of American Top Team. But still, I'm still gonna go with Thiago Moises. I'm sure he's got to be like at least 2-1 favorite if the odds are out for this. Not even alopecia. Thank you, Dirty Reg. Thank you, Dirty Reg. Yes, I've seen the infomercials or the commercials with you can buy something to stop that. This guy he needs an extra high dose of it though, because this dude's got it. It looks like he's wearing gloves in his Tapology picture. Like he got gloves on and a mask. Crazy. But hey, I don't hate. Look at take those gloves off, dude. No, it's not funny. I hate to joke about PSA laws. But anyway, go ahead, Dave. Tell me what you think about this fight.
Same thing here. Glad to see 2 Brazilians on the card. It'll be nice. Hard debut for Costa once again, coming up against Thiago Moises, who is no joke. This guy's a killer. I got to stick with the guy with the UFC experience. Even though he's got some scary vitiligo, it's not going to make a difference. I'm going, Costa's not going to get this one. Hell of a debut against Thiago Moises. And the odds are -400 for Moises and +300 for Costa. So if you like Costa, you're doing well.
What is it?
+300 for Costa and -400 for Moises.
Unreal. Well, see, I don't know why the matchmakers did this. All these debutantes against veterans. Why don't they do like? Why couldn't they have like this Costa guy go against like Ishmael Bonfim? and then have Terrence McKinney go against Thiago Moises. Wouldn't that be like a better thing? Don't you know what I mean? I think the odds would be closer, right? They wouldn't be
Yeah.
like so minus 400s, and well, the bomb theme McKinney is pretty close, but I don't know. It's just you. It's just weird to me how the Sean Shelby put this thing together here, because there's a lot of these debutantes going against a lot of these seasoned guys, like the guy,
Yeah.
which is odd, but whatever. I think Costa might be coming in. He might be filling in. He's like might be short notice. I don't know. He might be filling in for somebody. Yeah, he is. He's filling in for Guillermo Kudeladze. No wonder.
You're right.
No wonder. See, that would have been a good fight, Guillermo Kudeladze. I would still probably take Thiago Moises, but that would have been a good fight. All right. So we're both on the side of Thiago Moises, American Top Team. Represent. Okay. Here's another debutante, the Hulk, Bruno Ferreira, taking on. What's that?
This is your other short notice fight.
What's that? Yeah, is it? Yeah, because I just saw that. I saw it. RoboCop Gregory Rodriguez was supposed to fight Brad Tavares. Tavares withdrew. That would have been a good fight too. But I don't know. This dude, Bruno Ferreira, though, beware. 9-0. This dude, and I checked out his Instagram, and he is a Hulk. He's compact. He's got thick legs. He's not as I think there's a clear. Is there 5-inch height, 3-inch reach advantage for RoboCop here, but Bruno Ferreira, he trains with out of Evolucao Thai MMA. That's with Bruno Silva, and he is a judo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. All 9 wins are by finish, 6 of them by TKO, 3 of them by sub. Nobody, his opponents, nobody recognizable in that whole list. I went and checked it out, but I don't know. This guy, I got question marks around this guy. He looks on Instagram. He looks like I would not want to fight him. He looks like a beast at 185. I look at him. Look at him right there in the Tapology picture.
Oh, yeah, he's gigantic.
He is a terror. But he's going against Gregory Rodriguez. Now, here's another thing about Gregory Rodriguez. The dude just got over that fight where you could see his skull. Remember, he had that in between his eyes. He had that big cut. And I'm surprised it wasn't stopped. But he managed to come out with the win over Chidi and Jaquani, Chidi Bang Bang. I won money on it. Thank God they didn't stop that. I was like, don't stop this fight. Don't. And yeah, but for real, you could see like bone through the cut. It was disgusting. But anyway, before that, he beat Cuban Missile Crisis Julian Marquez by punches round 1. Awesome. He lost to Armin Petrosian by split decision. He beat Iron Turtle. Is that the guy? Junior Park? That's Iron Turtle, right? Yep. Beat him by a standing TKO round 2. Good one. And then before that, he beat Dusko Todorovic by unanimous decision. What is number 19? Did somebody take him on the contest? That's a good pick. I think somebody did too.
Yeah,
I think the chat did. Chat did, didn't they?
I know somebody did.
Right. Anyway, RoboCop comes in heavy favorite again, minus 330, and I'm picking him here for sure. Only because his experience and he's durable. Like he had his skull showing, his bone, his forehead bone was showing, and he still won. And amazing. And he's got the height, he's got the reach. They're the same age, so there's no age discrepancy. I'm going to take the violent Obama, take Gregory Obama Rodriguez to get the victory over the Hulk. But this dude, the Hulk, man, I wish. I hope he.
How busy is USADA in Brazil?
Oh no, they're not. They don't. They'll test for the hard needle stuff, but not the pill stuff. That's I don't know. I have no idea. But I know they're a lot more lenient than than the U.S. USADA because those guys, yeah, they remember the Brazilian special sauce. A lot of those, they love that crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Hulk, that dude right there, eats it for breakfast. I'm sure.
P would melt the USADA cup, like Rogan would say.
Well, look at Real MMA. Really liked Rodriguez over Tavares, but not touching this one. Yeah, right? There's a lot of questions over this guy, Ferreira. Bruno will look to wrestle, judging from his frame. Yeah, he looks like one of those grappler types, you know, the stocky, shorter, lower center of gravity type fighters. Rodriguez and Almeida both trying to break into the rankings for the chat this weekend. There we go. Could happen.
Yep.
So, wait, who's Lucas Almeida fighting? He's not on this card, is he? Not that I remember. Anyway, you're on the side of RoboCop?
Dave? Oh, yeah. 100%.
What are the odds on Bet365?
Minus 334 and plus 250.
334 plus 250. Ooh. Okay. Moving up the card, this is the headliner of the prelims, and this is probably the farewell fight, I would imagine. That's what I've heard. For Shogun.
Hope so.
Mauricio. 27-13-1. Former Pride champion, former UFC champion, UFC Hall of Famer. Going out with a bang. I checked his Instagram. Happy, loving life. Got the nice cars, nice house, beautiful wife, 2 lovely daughters. The world is looking good for Shogun. That's why I'm kind of shocked that he's taking this fight. But hey, at least he's gonna get paid either way. So, and plus he wants to go out in his hometown. Like, this is, you know, he's Brazilian, wants to make his last showing in front of his home crowd, and he might be able to pull something off against this guy Ihor Potieria, whatever. But I don't know. Ihor, I know he's coming off that loss to Nikolai Negomerianu. But
Well said.
yeah. And that was his UFC debut. And before that, though, he was in like WWFC, which is a Ukrainian regional scene. You know what came out of there? That Roma Dolice came out of that stuff.
Nice.
There's been other fighters that you've heard of that. I just can't think of them right off the top of my head, though. But I looked into a little bit. Ihor also, he was training out of Ukraine until wartime. Now I saw an Instagram snippet where he was at American Top Team, and he was like, but that's when he was training for Nikolai Negomerianu. Now, as of recently, I think it says Lupani Muay Thai, which is in Cyprus, which it's been a while since I was in school, so I don't know where Cyprus is.
Little
But
island.
Jalton Almeida, that's who he's talking about. Okay, my bad, Real news. Anyway, yeah, you're definitely gonna win that one. Good pick there. Me and Dave were saying that was first pick of the draft, I think, for you guys. Anyway, Ihor, the duelist, he's a master of sport, combat sambo, which is a good fighting style for UFC. He's got 2-inch height advantage, and he is 26 years old.
Yeah, compared to 41.
Compared to
41.
Shogun, 41 years old, has been fighting since most of these people in the chat were born. Not all of you guys, Dirty Reg, but a lot of these people in the chat. He's been fighting since way back. Let's look at his last 5. He's coming off a loss to OSP, split decision. Before that, he tapped his strikes to Paul Craig. And before that, he beat
Big time.
Antonio Rogero Nogueira by split decision. That was a rematch where I think Nogueira beat him the first time round. Prior to that, he had a draw against Paul Craig, and before that, he had a win against Tyson Pedro, which Tyson Pedro is actually that's one of Dev's unranked picks. Tyson Pedro. Go ahead, Dev. Take him. He's all yours. No argument here. Tyson Pedro. But anyway, Shogun, man, I feel bad for the guy. I'd like to see him go out on a win, but I don't think it's going to happen. It's just he's not. It's just the physicality is all over Ehor, and he'll probably win this. Hopefully, I don't know. You think it's going to go distance? Actually, go ahead. Are you taking Shogun?
No, I'm picking Ehor as well. Come on, Shogun's 41 years old. He's on his home turf. He's in one of the. It'll be a good send off for him. Hopefully, the end of his career. I do remember growing up watching him when he was completely roided up and it was amazing. So it'll be good to see him go before he, gets hurt permanently.
Right. But he is home team too. So if it does go decision, he might, no Brazilians don't care about Ukraine.
Give me the volume.
And,
just the volume.
And wasn't this guy Ehor? Wasn't he like one of the ones that had like he gave like a false record, like he gave like a padded record that then they found out, they went deep dived and found out a lot of the fights were fake. Like he had a boosted record. He had like 26 and something. Then they realized like a bunch of those fights were just bullshit. Something like that.
Bullshit. He's only got probably about 5 real fights on his record.
If this was 10 years ago, I would take Shogun all day.
Yeah.
But 10 years ago, Ehor would have been 16. So I'm just saying, a younger version of Shogun would beat the pants off this dude. But a 41-year-old Shogun, I'm gonna have to go with the youth here. Oh man, I hate it though. Breaks my heart a little bit. Dave, what are the odds for this Shogun fight?
Shogun's at plus 180 and Ehor is at minus 220.
There's 220. Man, there's a chance though.
There's a chance.
Shogun might have one more fight in him. Just one more fight, buddy. Just this one. If you want to win in front of your home team, I'm not going to bet it. I'm going to stay right away.
So path to victory for Shogun is obviously going to be taken to the ground. This Ehor guy has got no ground game whatsoever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And I know Mauricio does have it. And Mauricio doesn't want to stand up with anybody. He's too old. So he's going to try and take him down. If he gets him down, he's got a chance.
Yeah, maybe. That's why I'm not betting this. My Tapology pick is going to be Ehor, though, just simply because he's 26. Yes. Then again, we're old, Dave. We should know firsthand. If we have to dig deep, we might be. we could probably hold our own against 26-year-olds at a bar.
True. It's past my bedtime. Let's go.
All right. Let's get into the main card. Next, we got the Bear Jew, Paul Craig, taking on Johnny Walker, the new and improved Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker is training out of SPG Ireland. He is Brazilian roots, like that's his ethnicity. However, he's definitely he married a girl over in Ireland. He found a wife, beautiful blonde woman. And anyway, John Kavanagh, he likes John Kavanagh for some reason, even though that Thiago Moises fight was the stupidest John Kavanaugh coached fight ever. Oh, you're leading on rounds. Just do what you're doing. Look what happened. Unanimous decision loss. But anyway, there's on Instagram, he's been training with this SBG Ireland wrestling guy. He's an Olympian. He's got like a 2012 medalist, and his name is Rayud Lawafi. Rayud Lawafi. But this dude, I guess, is a supreme wrestling coach, like all sorts of accolades and stuff. And Johnny Walker's been training with him, which he needs to, because he does not hold a match to Paul Craig's ground game. I hope his stupid fight IQ brings him to the ground just so Paul Craig can submit him. Paul Craig's been the Bear Jew is coming off his only loss in his last 5 against Volkan Ozdemir. Volkan Ozdemir found the game plan, and that is to not go to the ground. Just keep it standing, and you can, for real. Paul Craig's not. He's like, his style. He's got the Ryan Hall style, like come to the ground and play. Otherwise, however, I checked his Instagram out. The dude's been working hard on his boxing, striking. He's got a new. He used to train out of the Scottish Hit Squad or some shit like that. Now he's at a place called Danny Wilson's Boxing Science, where they like legitimately they train striking, and all the exercises are for striking, and they like nutritionalists. They put the science into boxing, and Paul Craig has been rocking this, doing it like on Instagram. I'm like, holy shit, this boy actually can throw some strikes. And the thing with Johnny Walker, he does this. Sometimes he gets flashy and tries these stupid like cartwheel kicks and stuff. If Paul Craig catches any of that stuff, if he gets him down to the ground, Johnny Walker is going to get submitted. But if Johnny Walker keeps it standing, just like Volkan Ozdemir did, he has a shot to edge out either a decision, which most likely, or I don't think he's going to knock out Paul Craig. However, this is one underdog on the card that I'm going to go with. I'm going to take Paul Craig here, hopefully by submission. I don't like Johnny Walker's fight IQ. He has a huge tail to tape advantage, 3-inch height, 6-inch reach advantage. But the thing is, I think he's cocky. In Brazil, I think he's going to be able to be like, oh, I can play on the ground with Paul Craig. And no, you can't. That's what I'm hoping will happen. And I'm going to take Paul Craig to get submission in this. And this is one of the underdogs I'm taking in this card. What about you?
I am afraid of this fight. What's interesting is that Paul Craig's a higher ranked fighter, but he's the underdog in this fight, which is all right. I get it. Still, definitely don't want to be on the ground with him. As far as Johnny Walker's records, a couple things stand out to me. This is a shit ton of red here, man.
Yeah.
Jamal Hill, Santos, Krylov, Anderson. I mean, this is stretching back for a while. I mean, he squeaked one out against Ryan Spann, and he managed to choke out Jan Kulava, but that's a lot of red here.
That's why I'm hoping that Ian Kutalaba choke out. I hope in his head's like, oh, I choked out Ian Kutalaba. I hope he's thinking he can hold the flame to the submission grappling and go to the ground with Paul Craig. That's what I'm hoping happens.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I like Paul Craig in this one, definitely.
There we go.
I think he's a higher ranked fighter too. I think he's got the more experience. Yeah, I'm going with Paul Craig.
Fantastic. What's the odds?
I'm just looking for it. Here it is. Plus 162 for Paul Craig and minus 188 for Johnny Walker. Finally got a dog here.
Right. And light heavyweight, Paul Craig's 5 years older, is 35. Johnny Walker's 30. But that I mean, light heavyweight, you're still competing at a high level at 35. That's like your prime for light heavyweight, which I like it, and I liked his Instagram, how he's working on his striking. I was impressed with what I saw on there. Johnny Walker's Instagram just shows him wearing ugly sweaters and doing the whole "here's my new wife," doing like the family thing. No training videos that I saw of him, which leads me to think Paul Craig's been really more dedicated into his camp. And that's why I'm going to take him here. And like you said, he's the higher ranked fighter, plus money. He's beaten Jamal Hill, ripped his arm off. He beat who did he make tap last second? Magomed Ankalaev. Remember that? Last second of the entire fight made him tap. What is that other red there? Is there an exhibition or something?
These are that was a grappling fight against.
Oh, okay.
Which I mean, even that I like too. I mean, he's still doing BJJ grappling on the side. He's still doing tournaments.
Right. Very active, Paul Craig. I like it. I've been fading Johnny Walker ever since that Thiago Santos debacle. All right, moving up the card, we have another female fight. The very handsome Jessica Andrade. She's like attractive in a like a weird what's that, androgynous way,
yeah.
like
manly way.
Manly, yeah, but I don't know. It just draws a fine line. Like she's a pretty lesbian. Lauren Murphy. Her Instagram. I mean, as surprisingly, Lauren Murphy at 39 years old is looking tip top shape. I don't know. She's promoting this energy shot or something, some sort of supplement, but it's working for her because her Instagram, she's cut and ripped, and this is like from a couple days ago. She took a selfie, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Lauren Murphy is not playing around. But Jessica Andrade here is the toughest female flyweight, strawweight, flyweight, whatever. What is this? Strawweight, flyweight? What is this fight?
Flyweight.
Flyweight. She's the strongest flyweight in the division for sure. But the odds are off, I think, on this. Jessica Andrade should win this on paper. I mean, she's beaten Amanda Lemos, Cynthia Calvillo. She lost to Valentina, beat Caitlin Chikane, lost to Rose Namajunas, too, and that's her last 5. But here's the thing, Lauren Murphy, she's only lost once in her last 5, and that was to Valentina. Look at that. Only one red mark there. See that? Which is pretty impressive. And I went a little bit deeper. Lauren Murphy trains at Genesis Training / also at Elevation. And you know who she's training with on Instagram? Rose Namajunas, who beat Jessica Andrade. She's training with Raquel Pennington, who's beat Jessica Andrade. She's training with JJ Aldrich, and she's training with Miranda Maverick. She's training with these killer girls over Genesis Training and Team Elevation. And if you look at her last 5, look, she's beaten Misha Tate. She lost to Valentina, but that's who hasn't, you know? She beat Joanne Wood. Joanne Wood fell off. She beat Lilia Shakarova, and she's beat one of my favorites, Roxanne Modafferi. That's her last 5. Pretty darn good. So I don't know. I understand Jessica Andrade, the strength, the aggression, the nonstop cardio and pressure, but minus 460. If anything, I'm picking her on Tapology, but if I bet anything, I'm going to bet the dog here and maybe throw a scratch off on Lauren Murphy because Lauren Murphy 4 inches height, 6 inches reach, and training with people that have beat Andrade. I don't know. Andrade's crazy.
I'm gonna wait to see some weigh-ins here. Andrade usually fights at 115. Now she's going up to 125. Murphy looks, by your Instagram comments, looks like she's not going to have any problems making weight, which was one of my check marks on my notes there to make sure that she could actually make weight.
Yeah, next time you're on Instagram, just search her, and it's one of the most recent posts, and she doesn't even look like that meth face girl that you see in the Tapology picture. She looks like a legit athlete. And yeah, it's. I started scrolling through there. I'm like, I'm glad I look at these Instagrams because Instagram shows the recent. This is like a week ago. She posted this stuff, and I was like, holy shit. Lauren Murphy might be the surprise on this. Might be the trap, but not a trap because who's going to throw minus 460 on a girl fight? You know what I mean? But Tapology, I'm still picking Andrade because that's a sensible pick. It should go that way, but I'm gonna kind of low key root for Lauren Murphy, 39 years old.
I'm gonna wait to watch the weigh-ins and face-offs for this one. I'm curious how much how much bigger Murphy's gonna be. It's gonna be gigantic.
Yeah, I'd like to. That's what another thing about doing these early things. But what are the most recent odds on Bet365?
Where is minus 500 for Jessica Andrade? Wow. Lauren Murphy at plus 380.
Plus 380.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Yeah, I might. Yeah, $10 when you're 38.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Might be a scratch off there for me. All right, let's move on. Gilbert Burns, Del Reno. How do you say it? Wait, let me flip the page. Darinho Gilbert Burns taking on the Haitian sensation Neil Magny. I learned Neil Magny has the most decision wins in UFC history. Interesting fact. Most decision wins. But here he's going to probably be outclassed by Gilbert Burns. All right. I'll explain why. Gilbert Burns fighting out of Kill Cliff, training with Gregory Rodriguez. Instagram, both their pages show them training together. Also, he trains with this guy named Jason Jackson, who is like a Bellator champ. And he trains with a guy named Delano Taylor, who is a PFL champ. Okay, so he's training with all sorts of killers. His last fight against Khamzat, the only person to go to decision with Khamzat in the whole history, you know. Before that, he beat Wonderboy Stephen Thompson decision. He lost to Kamaru Usman, round and pound, round 3. He beat Tyrone Woodley, and he beat Damian Maia. That's his last 5 for MMA. As you can see, there's a couple grappling matches in there too. But Gilbert Burns, he's only lost in his last 5 with Khamzat and Usman.
Tomorrow, yeah.
There's no shame in that. Neil Magny, on the other hand, 27-9. He does have a lot of wins, but he's coming off a Darce choke over Daniel Rodriguez. Good on him. Good fight. Good win there. He lost to Shavkat Rakhmonov, of course. No shame in there. He got guillotine choked round 2. He beat Max Griffin by split decision. He beat Jeff Hands of Steel Neal, unanimous decision. And before that, he lost to Michael Chiesa. Neil Magny will have a 5-inch height, 9-inch reach advantage. I repeat, 9-inch reach advantage. He trains out of Team Elevation. No training pictures in his Instagram. However, he does have a picture posing with Curtis Blades. And I know Blades is a Elevation guy as well. So I'm assuming they might do some work together. But my pick here is going to be Gilbert Burns, and I'm fairly confident with it. Don't get me wrong, I like Neil Magny. I think he's a good fighter, but Gilbert Burns is just a little bit better, I think. I think he's got more power in his punches. Definitely the ground game. I'd go the way of Gilbert Burns. I'm confident Gilbert Burns is going to take care of business here. What do you think about this fight?
Same. Very confident in Gilbert. It was good to see him fight against. It was good to see him fight his last fight against Khamzat, just to show that Khamzat was actually human.
Correct.
Very nice to see. And you give Gilbert Burns enough training camp, and he'll fight. Yeah, he'll fight anybody and usually wins.
Right,
So,
and he'll make it good too. Whoever he fights is gonna be good.
Exactly. So he's not the kind of guy who's going to half-ass it and not put the effort in. Full 100%, especially in Brazil, all over Gilbert Burns here.
Oh yeah, that's not home team too.
Yeah.
What's the odds on this thing?
Where are we at here? My apologies. Minus 450 for Gilbert Burns, plus 350 for Neil Magny, and that's
disgusting. I can't.
It's horrible.
I know.
A little bit more than I thought it was going to be.
Look at all this chalk on this card. They should have made some closer matchups. All right. Co-main event. We got the what's it called? The quadrilogy.
The quadrilogy.
That's what I think it's what it's called.
These guys fight
1-1-1 for both these fighters. They both have a win against each other, a loss against each other, and a draw against each other. This is for all the kit and caboodle. This is for all of it right here. This fight here. Davison Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno. Both of them coin flip odds. I think they're both minus 110 last time I checked. Maybe Moreno might be a little bit edge a little slight favorite now. What is it?
Why don't they have these in order? Plus 100 for Davison Figueiredo, minus 125 for Brandon Moreno. And I agree with those odds. I like those odds.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And I'll explain why. Davis Figueiredo is the home team, Brazilian, 21-2-1, taking on the Mexican, Brandon Moreno, 26-2. Aside from their trilogy that they had where they're 1-1-1, Davison Figueiredo before that, he had a guillotine win over Alex Perez, and he rear naked Joseph Benavidez. This is the thing with Davis Figueiredo, though. His when he beat Brandon Moreno the last time out against each other, he was training at Fight Ready. He has since left Fight Ready. He's down, like I mentioned earlier in the show. He's down back at Team Figueiredo, back in Brazil, at home. Of course, you expect that too, though. And trained with his brother and that tall girl, Zara Farn, whatever. Brandon Moreno, though, he's had a fight since the trilogy. And that was against Kai Kara France. Wasn't the most fantastic fight I've ever seen, but I think he lost maybe a round or two in the early, but he did manage to get a TKO in round 3 to beat Kai Kara France, which is good for him. Before the trilogy, he has a win against Brandon Royval, ground and pound, round 1. Brandon Moreno will have a 2-inch height, 2-inch reach advantage. Now, everybody knows he used to be Glory MMA, which is no more because of the whole James Krause fiasco. So he's moved to Fortis MMA. What a good move with Saif Sayoud, which is one of the best guys you ever want in your corner is Saif Sayoud. And from what I heard, he's now at the UFC Performance Institute, and he brought some of his old coaches from the Entram gym, the Mexican gym there, Entram gym. And Saif Sayoud will be cornering him this weekend against Davis Figueiredo. And one more thing I'd like to add, Davis Figueiredo, this is a flyweight fight, and he's 35 years old. That shit don't fly at flyweight. That shit will fly at light heavyweight and heavyweight. But flyweight, you got to have that speed, that quick reaction time, and for real, you 35, you're pushing your limits, bud. Brandon Moreno, 29, right in his prime. I think Brandon Moreno is going to solidify, become champ. He's going to take the quadrilogy or whatever you want to call it. What do you think?
I think Moreno won that last fight. I really did. I really thought he won. I thought he beat Figueroa last time. So I mean, I don't want to speak out of turn. It is Brazil versus Mexico. I've always been a Mexican fan, so I'm all over this kid as well. It's going to get harder and harder for Deiveson Figueroa to be able to cut weight, to make weight. We'll see if he can even do it. But yeah, all over Moreno on this one. It's going to be interesting to hear the Brazilian crowd for this fight. Be really interesting to hear.
I know, because Brandon Moreno's a nice dude too. He's like decent dude.
Nicest guy in the world.
Everybody likes him. He's very friendly, outgoing. Then he's a beast when that cage door shuts. I like it too. We haven't disagreed on any of these fights.
It's horrible.
Well, I'm gonna have to win with
props. Yeah.
Rounded methods on Tapology. Okay, that brings us to the main event. We got the old timer. This is a light heavyweight though, so old timers can still pull shit off. Glover Teixeira is taking on Jamal Hill. Glover Teixeira, 33-8, training out of his own gym, Teixeira MMA and Fitness in Connecticut. Fantastic gym. It was ranked. Somebody ranked it gym of the year last year.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good people training there too.
Fantastic people, and he's really turned some careers around too. He's had some mediocre fighters become pretty dang good. He was a champ, but he lost most recently to Jerry Petrosca in one of the best fights I saw last year. Rear naked choke, round 5. Jerry got him in. Before that, he beat Jan Blachowicz. Rear naked choked him, round 2. Before that, he beat Thiago Santos. Rear naked choke, round 3. He beat Anthony Smith, ground and pound, round 5. And before that, he beat Nikita Krylov by split decision. Dude's been around. He's 43. His pro debut was 2002. Ridiculous. He was he was like a WEC champ, and that was before UFC was like UFC, like that kind of like a lot of UFC absorbed WEC. That's what happened. But then when they did, he has UFC debut, I think 2012. And here we go, taking on the one loss, Sweet Dreams, Jamal Hill, 31 years old, 11-1. His only loss was to Paul Craig, where Paul Craig ripped his arm off. He didn't tap, he didn't quit, nothing. But for real, I hand it to him. He's most recently coming off a ground and pound round 4 win over Thiago Santos. He beat Johnny Walker, overhand right in round 1. He beat Jimmy the Brute Group, right hook, 48 seconds of round 1. Fantastic win there. Before that was the arms injury Paul Craig thing. And before that, he TKO'd Vince St. Preux, round 2. Jamal Hill will have a 2-inch height and 3-inch reach advantage, and definitely 12-year age advantage. He's training out of Black Lion Jiu-Jitsu, which is a very small gym in Michigan. However, he is exclusively training with a guy that Glover Teixeira beat ground and pound round 5, which is Anthony Smith, Lionheart Smith. I saw that on Instagram. Tapology has him listed as who knows blank nothing as the gym. So I had a search on Instagram, and he is training with Anthony Smith, Black Lion Jiu-Jitsu. I'm going to go with Teixeira by submission because Jamal Hill, I think he's a great fighter, and he's going to be the more athletic fighter, but Glover Teixeira's got the better fight IQ. Jamal Hill, I'll go down to the ground with Paul Craig. Come on, dude. That shows poor fight IQ. And it's just, I wouldn't be surprised if Jamal Hill knocks Teixeira out, but I think this is going to go deep, and I think Teixeira is going to end up getting him to the ground and using he's on a, when it comes to the ground, Teixeira's on a whole nother level. Jamal Hill just got his brown belt just recently. Like I want to, on Instagram, it showed like I want to say like within a month ago, just got his brown belt. Teixeira is like a degreed black belt, like who knows how many degrees. He's been a black belt for, Jamal Hill was still in diapers, I think, when Teixeira was a black belt. So I gotta go with Glover Teixeira here, and I think he's gonna use his jiu-jitsu and submit Jamal Hill. If not submit, if he doesn't tap, he's gonna snap. He's gonna break, just like Paul Craig did. It's gonna be something vicious submission, I think. What do you think?
I realize it's a big cage for the UFC. I realize Hill is really good on his feet. He's going to outstrike him, but this is 5 rounds, and you got to stay away from Glover Teixeira for 5 rounds. That's going to be hard to do because as soon as he gets his hands on you, you're going down, and it's not going to be pretty. Let's look at the stats real quick. Strikes landed per minute, 3.80 versus 6.46. Huge advantage for Jamal Hill there. Strike absorbed, 3.93 to 3.51. So Jamal's defense not the best in the world. But here we go. Takedown average per 15 minutes, 2.20 to Jamal Hill's 0.0. Yeah, takedown accuracy, 0. He's only got a 65% takedown defense and no submissions, obviously. So this is an issue in a 5-round fight against somebody who's got some really good ring IQ and who is on home soil. It's going to be really hard for him. So I'm going to go with the with my other dog, Glover, for this one.
Absolutely, I'm with you. All right, good. We made it through everything. Now we got to pick our 3 not chalky 3-leg parlay. So we got to pick anybody with plus money. So Glover Teixeira is definitely going to be in it. Glover. Who was our other underdog we liked? Paul Craig.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the last one it's going to either be Brandon Moreno or
I like Terrence McKinney. I like Worley Alves.
Yeah, those guys are also. Yeah, they're minus 125 all 3 of those.
Yeah.
So it's out of those 3. We definitely got the plus money ones, Paul Craig and Glover. Now we just got to pick who's your most confident out of Worley Alves, Terrence McKinney, and Brandon Moreno.
I want to stay away from those Bonefield brothers. So and I like Worley Alves. I really think Alves is gonna dominate in this one.
Yeah, Nicholas Dalby's like 38, right?
Yeah.
And he's and Alves. Yeah, I'm with you. So that'll be it. Let's plug that 3-way in. 3-leg parlay in.
Oh, I can't do it.
I'm gonna use DraftKings. My bet online is dwindling. I got a lot of bets on playoffs through there. So on DraftKings, 199,129. Okay. Alves. Paul Craig. And
Glover.
Oh, beautiful. plus 929.
Wow. That's pretty huge.
It's 929.
He's 43-year-old heavy or 43-year-old with a belt. That's gonna be interesting.
He had it when he was 42.
Yeah, I know.
Where's that sound?
My dog eating a bone.
Oh.
Need some what's that called? Your what's your background music? Usually?
Japanese?
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Hold on, I'm almost done typing this thing.
What's the most
Like
favorite
that.
fight you're looking for in this one?
Probably the main event, but there's hot spots I like to see. I want to see these Bomb Fiend brothers, see what they're all about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and that Gregor Rodriguez versus the Hulk, that one looks good too.
That'll be curious. I forgot about that one. It'll be really interesting. What's this close to? Was it?
Plus 9, what was it? 29.
It's a crazy 3-5 parlay. It's a huge payoff.
There it is. Three leg parlay. Warley Alves, Paul Craig, Glover Teixeira, 3 legs at plus 929. Felt better. Coming late to the party, but glad you made it. McKinney, Bomb Fiend. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. Both Bomb Fiend matches should be good. Absolutely. I heard the Gabriel's the better one, but that's a close one. That was the one I'm like on the fence. Monir Lazez. And you know what? His Instagram, one post, just one. Weird. And it's like a music video post of him training. And it's his definitely, like if it's their legit certified Instagram, they'll have like that blue asterisk by it. It's his legit thing too. I'm like, really? This is weird. But anyway, awesome. All right, I got an early day tomorrow. It's already 10 o'clock Eastern time here.
Go to sleep. Thanks a lot, guys. Good luck on all your bets.
Yeah.
Have yourselves a good night.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck on your bets. Thank you for tuning in. I'll put this back up there real quick. And I don't know. I won't be around Friday. Got the Lunar New Year. Saturday, maybe catch me on Dev's channel or something. We'll see. But all right, Dave. Hope you feel better. Thanks for joining me. And we'll see you guys next week. Later.